Joining us at Post 9 this morning, he joined us last night at our NetNet Summit. Michael White is the former CEO of DirecTV and the former CFO of PepsiCO. It's great to have you, Mike. Thank you so much.
Nice to be with you, Carl.
Help our viewers understand how to value these companies and which metric is the most important at this point.
Well, I still think cash flow ultimately is the most important metric, but actually, I thought the numbers weren't that bad. I mean, I thought that Comcast really had a pretty decent quarter all the way around. It is challenging out there. I think for all the pay TV providers, Charter also lost video subs. So there's no question there that kind of the whole issue of the growth in streaming, millennials' habits are different. There's no question about that. You're in the middle of the river now with this shift going on. It's going to continue. So you are seeing cord cutting. That's a reality. But as I think Brian said, the advantage is you can sell broadband still. And at&t has DirecTV now, which I think is a terrific product.
Michael, has cable become the new landline phone? Because now, I mean, we see landline phones going down or dial-up internet going down. It's like, okay, it was really profitable in its day, but it's not the most important thing. We tend to focus on video subs because that's what we think of when we think of Comcast is, video. But the argument they're trying to make is that broadband is more profitable and goes to that cash flow statement that you just made. Is that where we need to shift our attention?
Oh, I think, just think about attention span. 20 years ago, the only device that would get your attention, other than going to the theater, the movies, whatever, was that box in the living room. That day's over. I mean, you spend more time on your iPhone screen today or your iPad screen than you spend with the television. And I think it's no longer a monopoly. That's a reality. And so for all of these companies, I think there's no doubt about it that the internet continues to be the most important story. And it's going to be, if you think about 5G, if you think about healthcare in the future, there's so many more apps. We're just beginning to see this technology change accelerate, I think. And the role of broadband is going to only become even more important in the home.
You mentioned that we're probably spending more on our telephone screen or our iPad screens than we are necessarily looking at the TV sometimes. Yeah. What do you think of the move into wireless and selling wireless as a new kind of a triple play?
I think both Verizon and at&t have tremendous infrastructure and capability. I think every business you think is simple is always a lot more complex than you think. There are tremendous advantages to scale. So I'm not so sure I see the cable guys making a broad play into wireless. They may play around with it, but doing all the bridging and whatever. But
might it at least help retain customers? If you pick up a wireless, then erosion is slower?
Well, I think there's no question that bundled products, whether you're bundling with a triple play in traditional sense or bundling with wireless, always have lower churn. So
hence why.
There's no question. I mean, Bank of America, we've seen the same thing, that if you can sell more good products to good customers, it's way better than trying to have to chase new customers that you don't know.
Right.
Keeping loyal customers is important.
You're on the board of B of A, which is important to note. Live sports. We've seen Amazon and Twitter nibble at NFL. Do you see, could another big direct to the consumer buyer come in, and would the league say, all right, that's a great check you're going to write us, but it's the viewers, the broadband penetration is nowhere near what television is?
No. You can't say anything. You can't say never to anything anymore. Okay? Furthermore, with the long-term deals, the question you're asking is what's going to happen in, 2025. And I'm not that smart to predict exactly how that will be. Having said that, I still feel sports is the only live thing, even with the ratings being down this year with the NFL.
The stock market also.
But they're still the only live thing other than the stock market that people will watch and you can get advertising for. So I think from a media company's perspective, I still don't see sports not becoming really important, kind of the anchor product for everything else they do. And I still think it's hard to imagine on a broad scale. The NFL's been pretty smart about how they've kind of split and they give a little bit to everybody and slice the salami thin.
Yep. Even by the minute.
Even by the minute.
You can't get it on the app just exactly when it airs.
What's the right over-the-top approach for the mainstream providers right now? Should they be even more open to these over-the-top services and getting a cut of that since they're trying to sell broadband, or what?
Well, I think you definitely want to sell broadband first and foremost, because as I said, that is the information highway for the future. The role of data, big data, is only going to get greater. Applications as you get faster speeds. You know, we're just at the beginning of that change. You know, you look at Microsoft and what they're talking about. There's no question technology is going to continue to accelerate. I think in terms of the content products, any of the smaller bundles works. DirecTV now is a great little, a great little product for a millennial who doesn't want to pay for the whole bundle. I still think the satellite sound and picture experience with the DVR is the best, but there's no doubt at&t is going to launch a cloud DVR in the spring, and I think it'll be terrific. So I think you'll see a little bit of everything. Everybody's trying everything, and that makes more noise and more fragmentation out there. I don't think there'll be one home run hitter that will dominate. You're going to see a whole bunch of experiments.
Right. It was great having you at NetNet, and it was a good day to have you here at Sports 9. Thanks, Mike.
It's great to see you all. Thanks.
Michael White.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.